I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Wednesday, June 10th. Today, all eyes on the sky.
There's like 2 or 3 cars that were stranded, and I've never seen the water that high before.
How the city of Winnipeg is faring following a destructive storm. Also today, delayed departure. How the wild weather conditions are continuing to cause major disruptions at Winnipeg's airport. Plus, new goals.
I want to see a women's soccer team in Winnipeg.
Why soccer fans could be scoring a new pro team. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Southern Manitoba is in cleanup mode tonight following a vicious storm that brought monsoon-like rains, hail, and at least 1 tornado. And the city of Winnipeg was not spared. Standing by live to break down the destruction this storm left in its wake is CTV's John Hendricks. So, John, just how hard hit did Winnipeg get?
Marilee, 911 was flooded with calls as the storm bared down on the city, pummeling us with 120 millimeters of rain. We were also hit with hail, lightning, and intense wind. Now, it was a challenging night as many drivers faced a difficult commute home. Pounding rain led to limited visibility and flooded roads and underpasses. Areas like River Heights and right here downtown were particularly hit hard. Cars were also pelted with hail, including in Tuxedo, where a golf ball-sized piece was spotted. Now, an underpass was flooded on Higgins Avenue, and as you can see here, 2 cars did end up submerged. Tree branches are down all over the city, some even landing on power lines, causing some residents of Crestview and St. Boniface to lose power. According to Manitoba Hydro, roughly 17,000 people are still without power, and it could be some time before it's restored. The Crown Corporation says folks should prepare for overnight outages. Now, other areas that were hit particularly hard include North Kildonan and East Kildonan, where the flooding astounded some area residents.
Well, there was a lot of flooding. In fact, I've never seen it that high. I'd say the flooding ran for probably about 30 to 40 yards, and there's some vehicles were going through it. As they were going through, the water was rushing up on both sides.
My son wanted to go see because McLeod always floods, so he wanted to go see over there. So we went down the back lane behind Superstore, and there it was. There's like 2 or 3 cars that were stranded, and I've never seen the water that high before.
Now, according to the city, 851 emergency calls came in between 6 p.m. Tuesday and 6 a.m. today. Over 130 of those calls were related to electrical hazards. Now, 10 were for possible structural fires, and 311 was similarly inundated with lots of calls coming in about downed trees, debris, malfunctioning traffic signals, and sewer backups. And multiple schools were canceled today because of power outages and water damage.
John, is there a continued threat to property?
Well, you know, it really depends where you live, Marilee. A number of people in the city are dealing with sewage drainage issues, basement flooding, and sump pump problems. Now, those without power also have no AC, and lots of people are adding up some big vehicle damage bills. CTV's Joseph Bernaghi has more details about the far-reaching effects of the storm coming up tonight on CTV News at 6.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, John. And the storms lead to some major interruptions at Winnipeg Airport. Check out this video a viewer sent us showing just what the conditions look like at the airport last night. A spokesperson for the Winnipeg Airports Authority says 62 flights were affected, 14 arriving and 38 departing flights had to be canceled, while 10 flights were held until they could be diverted or assigned gates. The fallout from this storm is expected to continue impacting operations for the next 24 to 48 hours. Passengers should check the status of their flights before heading to the airport. All right, CTV weather specialist Colleen Brady joins us now with more on a new storm on the horizon. Colleen, what are you tracking tonight?
I know you don't want to hear me say this, folks, but there is the potential for some more severe thunderstorm development here in Winnipeg and the southeast. We're already starting to see some severe thunderstorms develop, not just well, not really, actually in the southeast, to the east and to the west of us. So let me get right to it. Here's a look at the satellite radar right now. You can see we have thunderstorms firing off in the southwest. Now, we did have some come through the southeast corner, but all of southeastern Manitoba, including the city of Winnipeg, is under a severe thunderstorm watch. Where that yellow becomes a bit more pronounced here around the Kenora area, Red Lake in northwestern Ontario. That's where severe thunderstorms are right now. So let me take you through it on the radar there. So I'll zoom in on the region. We had those thunderstorms that clipped the southeast corner of Manitoba. They've now moved off, just enveloping the Kenora area. So again, this is a severe thunderstorm. Also traveling all the way back out into southwestern Manitoba, we have a pair of severe thunderstorms, one over Wayway-Sikapo, the other one over Rivers. They are both moving to the northeast. So if you are in those areas, severe thunderstorms do always have the potential to produce tornadoes, but not just tornadoes, hail, torrential rain, very strong winds as well. Additionally, in southwestern Manitoba, you see the southwest corner lighting up in gray. Environment Canada has also issued a special weather statement. I'll back off and show you for funnel clouds. So thunderstorms that could develop as a result of a system that's just over the border in Saskatchewan could produce thunderstorms here in the southwest corner of the province that could produce funnel clouds as well. So I have more details on that and a look back at some of the storm totals from the last 24 hours. Let's take a look right now through the CTV Live Eye. We have a guest joining us on the screen there, Marilee. Look at those clouds right now. The CTV Live Eye, by the way, of course, is brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Got to get that in there. 25 degrees. It feels like 30 with the Humidex. Winds out of the west-southwest at 24 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 63%. Out on the roads, a live look at McPhillips, like a parking lot. I would suggest, obviously, if you're considering heading into that part of the city or coming out of it, I'd just take a different route.
Thanks, Colleen. Well, as you can imagine, last night's storm only worsened the flooding situation in Swan River. A whopping 200 millimeters of rain fell in the area, causing waterways to burst and even more widespread overland flooding. Several of the town's businesses have taken on water. The flooding started Monday in the community located 480 kilometers northwest of Winnipeg, forcing its mayor to declare a state of emergency. Today, Manitoba's premier got a first-hand look at the damage. Hear how he's responding next hour on CTV News at 6. A large new mixed-use development may be going up in St. Boniface Industrial Park. The city is considering redesignating 110 acres at the corner of Dugald Road and Maisnod Road to make way for the proposed development. A city report says it would include nearly 3,000 residential units, everything from small-scale dwellings to high-rise buildings, along with ground-floor commercial units. The plan features a town center, business area, a central park, and a potential school site. If City Council gives the green light, construction could begin as early as next year. One person was sent to hospital in critical condition following a fire in a River Osborne apartment building. It broke out just after 6:30 last night at this three-story building on River Avenue. Smoke and flames could be seen coming from the structure when fire crews arrived on site. One person had to be rescued from the suite where the blaze started. They were taken to hospital in critical condition. Everyone else managed to get out of the building before crews arrived. 7 were assessed on scene by paramedics. The city's emergency social services team is providing temporary support for the displaced residents. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Soccer fans could be scoring a new pro team. The city is considering upgrades to a Kildonan soccer complex in the hope of attracting a women's soccer league. The stands at Ralph Cantafio Soccer Complex might be empty now, but that may not be the case for long. The space could become the home of a Northern Super League Winnipeg team, but first, it needs some work. A report in front of City Council says the Federation is asking the city to replace the complex's water main. It would also need an additional $600,000 for new artificial turf and some lighting upgrades.
I want to see a women's soccer team in Winnipeg. I want to see a professional women's soccer team in Winnipeg, and so I'm glad to support this report that would call for the city to participate in assisting with some upgrades in that facility to hopefully accommodate a women's soccer team in the future.
The total cost to bring the complex up to speed is currently pegged at $1.5 million.
This facility will help inspire the next generation of cricketers.
How professional cricket teams can now add a tour stop in Winnipeg thanks to a major upgrade at Assiniboine Park. That and more coming up after the break. Taking a look at the markets today, crude oil added $1.83. The loonie also closed a little bit higher. Gold futures lost $153. The TSX fell 260 points. The Dow Jones plunged 953 points, while the Nasdaq dropped 509 points. Granite Curling Club had its day in court in its ongoing dispute with the city over land it leases. The Curling Club is challenging a city bylaw which subdivides and rezones its west parking lot. It's part of an effort to redevelop the site into an 11-story affordable housing project. The land is owned by the city, but court heard it's been leased to the club on a monthly basis for decades. Council gave the bylaw first reading in March of last year. The club then appealed to the municipal board, arguing the loss of parking would jeopardize its operations. The board recommended the bylaw proceed, but required both parties to develop an adequate parking plan before it could pass a second and third reading. The bylaw ultimately passed, but Granite says no such parking plan was ever put in place, and it took legal action. On Tuesday, its lawyer argued the bylaw should be struck down, saying it violated the city's charter and lacked procedural fairness. The city's lawyer countered, telling the court the city acted reasonably throughout and tried to work out an alternative arrangement through a modified lease. Court of King's Bench Justice Amaran Kotler reserved his decision and says he hopes to release it this fall. Professional cricket teams can now add a tour stop here in Winnipeg thanks to a major upgrade at Assiniboine Park. Since 2024, the park's been at work turning the field in front of its pavilion into 2 full-sized cricket pitches. The upgrades include new batting and bowling cages, an irrigation system, and new turf. And the new fields come with a new name, Princess Auto Cricket Field. The president of the Manitoba Cricket Association says the fields now meet national and international standards.
This facility will help inspire the next generation of cricketer, future establish Manitoba as growing cricket destination in Canada.
The Manitoba Cricket Association was established in 1937, but has been played in the province since 1870. The fields officially opened Saturday for the association's annual Jamboree. Police have provided more details about a former pilot who was flying without a proper license.
He captained over 900 domestic flights, earning millions of dollars in salary for those captaining flights, but also flew tens of thousands of passengers.
Jeff Wall worked for Air Canada for almost 30 years. He was also chair of the Airlines Pilots Association and once sat down for an interview on CTV's Canada AM. Wall is now facing charges of fraud and forgery, accused of flying on a forged license. Police say he did have qualifications to be a commercial pilot, but never obtained a high-level license to fly the planes he was piloting. Questions over Wall's credentials were flagged during a routine check last year. He retired shortly after that. Air Canada says safety was never compromised. Why a beloved 90s duo is headed for a reunion. Those delightful details coming up after the break. Brady is back now for Spotlight, and the cast of Letterkenny is coming to town.
That's right, Marilee. You could say pitter patter, let's get at her.
Glenn came by earlier looking for azaleas.
I'll tell him to go Iggy azaleas.
Or Azalea Banks.
Is Brandon Flower?
This will be the first time Wayne, Daryl, Squirrely Dan, and the rest of the gang have headed out on tour since the popular Canadian sitcom came to an end. But now they're taking a brand new show with never-before-seen material across North America with a stop at Canada Life Centre March 10th. Tickets go on sale next Friday through letterkennylive.com.
A very cool piece of history is about to go on display here in Winnipeg.
That's right. You can see the Royal Charter that formed the Hudson's Bay Company this week at the Manitoba Museum. On Thursday, the Winnipeg institution will showcase the 356-year-old document it now jointly owns in a ceremony. It will be a homecoming of sorts for the document since the museum hosts thousands of HBC artifacts, and Winnipeg is where the company opened its first department store in 1881. After the ceremony, the document will be sent to storage in preparation for a one-year exhibition at the museum, likely in the fall of 2027.
All right, now to a reunion a lot of people may be really excited to hear about.
I think so. Romy and Michelle are officially getting back together. A sequel to the original film from 1997 was announced yesterday, with 20th Century Studios saying it's already in production. It shared this photo as the first look at Lisa Kudrow and Mira Sorvino back in costume. No word on a release date.
16 years after the social network offered a dramatized look at the rise of Facebook, the first trailer is out now for the sequel.
And it stars some Hollywood heavyweights.
Fire hose of bad information you are injecting into the air supply is becoming jet-powered.
I'm a free speech absolutist. I'm not the one who's lying, and I'm not stopping them from seeing someone who is.
That, of course, is Jeremy Strong as Zuckerberg in The Social Reckoning. The film also features Mikey Madison, Jeremy Allen White, Bill Burr, and more. It's written, directed, and co-produced by Aaron Sorkin, and it's based on the true story of a Facebook engineer who shared confidential company documents with the Wall Street Journal. Sony Pictures says it follows a dangerous journey that ends up blowing the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets. The movie is out October 9th.
Interesting.
Does look good.
Yeah. Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup for Wednesday starts with The Floor tonight at 7. Then at 8, catch the FIFA World Cup 2026 Countdown Concert. At 9:30, it's E-Talk, and The Floor wraps it all up at 10. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look into Osborne Village. Busy, peak of the rush hour along southbound Osborne Street. Right now in the city, it's windy and 25 degrees. I'll have more on the storms that have come through and what could come yet tonight. Coming up.
Women's clothing provided by R.W. & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Well, if you're in the market for a unique handbag, look no further. Check out this handbag made with collagen taken from T-Rex fossils. It's headed to auction. It could be yours. This bag is meant to demonstrate the value of lab-grown leather. It's expected to sell for between 300,000 and 500,000 euros. And if you're wondering, we've done the calculation. That's between $480,000 and $800,000 Canadian. Scientists say the material was made using protein fragments taken from dinosaur remains found in Montana in the 2000s.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
All right, Colleen Brady is back now with an update on another round of storms.
It really is unbelievable, isn't it? I can't remember a weather experience like this in the past 15 years that I've been weather anchoring here at CTV Winnipeg, like what we experienced last night. We could see somewhat of a repeat tonight, but it's not expected to be full-blown what we experienced over the last 24 hours or so. But having said that, there are a pair of thunderstorms that had been severe. The good news there is that they are no longer severe, so that's good. I'll show you those, though, on the radar in just a moment. But still, Winnipeg and the southeast still under that severe thunderstorm watch, so that means thunderstorms that could develop do have the potential to become severe. The reason is that we have an unstable air mass over the region, as you can well imagine, but it will be encountering a cold front coming through, and that could be the trigger to initiate those thunderstorms. But we still have the areas over the border in northwestern Ontario under a warning. But here's a quick look at those storms that had been severe just a few minutes ago over Wayway-Sikapo and rivers moving off to the southeast. So do keep your eyes on the skies in southwestern Manitoba. Here's a look at these storms that are still severe in the Kenora area in northwestern Ontario. But it's not just that severe thunderstorm watch and those warnings in effect. We do have that special weather advisory in effect for the southwest corner of the province for the potential for funnel clouds to develop, courtesy of a low pressure system that's developing rain and potentially thunderstorms over southern Saskatchewan. Some of that could spill over the border into the southwest corner of the province. You can see as we move into the early part of this evening, but not just there. Again, the potential for another round of rain or thunderstorms that could become severe tonight in the southeast into northwestern Ontario. We've got the rain through central regions and up into the northeast part of the province. But watch how this circulates. We've basically had this line that forms across a good swath of the province, and rain falling particularly heavily by Thursday morning up in the northeast, but still a awful lot of rain still coming down through central regions, the Interlake, and into a good swath of southern Manitoba, including Winnipeg. So we still have a lot more precipitation to contend with yet, and by the looks of it, we get into late in the afternoon tomorrow, it becomes more scattered. Meanwhile, it's still coming down quite heavily up in the northeast there as it continues to rotate around the low as it pushes further off to the north. We will dry out finally by the time we get to Friday. 14 is our low. I'll show you just some data in just a moment. 14 is our overnight low tonight with showers and thunderstorms possible. 18 tomorrow with with showers and thunderstorms likely. Put it this way, not a sure shot, but likely. Having said that, let's take a look back at what came through already. Couple of charts I want to show you. First one, tornado reports. Now, there's one confirmed tornado that was out at St. Anne. It's been assigned a damage rating of EF1. Reports of tornadoes still being investigated out at Grunthal, Morris, Dufrost, and Otterburn. In addition, reports of funnel clouds or tornadoes still being investigated, according to Environment Canada, across much of the Red River Valley and the Parkland region. Then there's the winds. Look at all these communities that had wind gusts in excess of 100 kilometers an hour. A lot of others came very close. Winnipeg had some very strong wind gusts as well, but you see peak wind gusts at Dand and Deloraine of 130 kilometers an hour. And that's not all. Then we've got the rainfall. Let's take a look at that. 255 millimeters of rain fell in Stonewall, 122 millimeters at the Forks. A lot of other areas got absolutely soaked all across the south. So let's take a quick look back at the forecast, starting once again over with Friday. The long-range forecast, 16 degrees under, a mix of sun and cloud. I mentioned we're drying out, but we're not warming up. Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud, 15 degrees, sunnier and warmer Sunday up to 20, 21 on Monday, and Tuesday 23 there. Both days we'll see increasing clouds into the afternoon. Our first weather photo takes a look at that storm cloud. Look at that. That was over Winnipeg from the north part of the city. That photo was sent to us by Ellen. And not just inside the city, of course, much of the south inundated, including out in Warren there. That photo was from Jenna. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Skywatch Weather Pick of the Day brought to you by Provivo, Winnipeg's first and only longevity medicine clinic. Redefining health, performance, and aesthetics. Provivo.com.
Two red pandas from Shanghai are now living it up in Taipei. The male and female are in good health and settling in after their move. They're pretty adorable, too. Check this out. Oh. This zoo transfer is part of a conservation partnership between the two zoos. Hopefully, the zoo is well stocked with bamboo because red pandas eat about 20,000 bamboo leaves every day. The pair is set to make its public debut next month. They are going to be a hit.
Absolutely.
I could sit and watch them all day.
Just want to hug them.
Yeah, very, very cute. Yeah. Much cuter than maybe what's brewing outside. We're back at 6 with the latest on that. Hope to see you then.